Hey everybody, this is Mark from the Geek Church here, and I'm here to report on CES 2021. This is going to be virtual this year, and there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. I'll try and keep you posted. Today is mostly a press day. This usually happens on a Monday. And, okay, for those that aren't experienced with CES, usually it takes place in Vegas at the LA Convention Center, plus a lot of casinos around there. It's a big tech convention, and all the big companies show up, and all the big companies have their big booths, and they have their stuff that they're trying to promote. And in all honesty, it's a big show that is essentially set up for distributors to essentially buy products from people. I'm told that most of the business is done in just hotel rooms, and it probably is. But it's a show. It's like a great show. I've been doing it since 2008, off and on. I've skipped a few years. This is the second time I've skipped it in all that time. So I sort of am doing this online thing that everyone else is doing. So this morning, I didn't really get a lot of sleep last night. In fact, none. But I attended some press conferences, and I'll tell you all about them. At 4 o'clock, I attended Hisense, their particular conference. If you're not familiar with Hisense, they make a lot of great displays, and they basically were just talking about, they were showing about their trichroma laser TV, something that was really big for them. It's going to have an RGB laser. I'm not really sure what that means. They did make this very interesting promise, though. They said they really want to have a holographic TV, and I wasn't certain if they compared it to Blade Runner 2049, and I was going like, really? You want that kind of technology? And I'm going to see if they keep that promise. I don't know. We'll see if they do. So after seeing Hisense, next at 5 in the morning, my time was LG. Now, LG makes a lot of great stuff besides displays. I was just thinking that they were probably going to talk about just their displays and stuff. But instead, they started off the same way the Hisense one started, by saying, like, we're all a little different after 2020. That got pretty old pretty fast. Mostly it was just a bunch of, practically every presentation had some sort of montage at the beginning showing, like, oh, hey, this is what our life is like now. It's COVID-19, that kind of thing. So LG talked about Puricare. These strange line of air filters. Let's talk about this weird thing called, what was that thing called? I forget. It was it was the Chloe UV. That's this little robot that goes around with UV lights that can pretty much sanitize anything. That was just it was pretty odd. And, they talked about their QNED mini LED. It's their most advanced LCD TV to date, so who knows, that might be something interesting. And then I went over to Samsung, and Samsung, man, they had this one guy who was doing pretty much the entire presentation. His name was Sebastian Sung, and he had this just sort of hey man, I'm so cool attitude about him that was kind of cool to watch, actually. And I could tell that they were, the opening that felt like something out of Mad Men, and I think they were deliberately homaging that. But since Samsung puts out a lot of stuff, they had a lot of stuff to show. Like their Bespoke, this weird, very stylish refrigerator that's totally customizable with its colors. Odd. I got to get me one of those. And, but they talked a lot about robots. They showed this one robot named what's its name, Bot Handy, and it's just this robot who's shaped like a capsule, has a little cute little eyes and a hand. And they showed this thing, or an arm, and they showed this thing putting dishes in the dishwasher. A robot was doing the dishes. Oh yeah, Samsung, give me that. Anyway, so it's nice to know that we're almost there. Samsung also talked about building a sustainable future. They really went out of their way to show that they're trying to make the world a better place, which is probably what we need to hear right now. So after the Samsung thing, I went to the Skyworth thing. And if you've never heard of Skyworth, I understand. It's not a company that's like very, I wouldn't say big, but they actually are. They're quite big, at least in on the other side. They have some North American presence, but they started in like 1988 over in Asia, and they've since grown quite a bit. I will have to say their presentation was the most basic of presentations I've ever really seen. My article about this shows a guy just standing by a TV, and that's pretty much it. Most of these other guys really, except for the Hisense tried to do it like they would have done it in, say, just like if they were actually at Vegas. You are very limited as far as what you can do on the stage. You can have a display around about you to show things, but for the most part, you're usually just a guy up on stage. This, what Skyworth did, looked like a guy just in front of a high school podium. It was, I wouldn't say it was pathetic, because honestly what they had to say was pretty good. They had a lot. It's very clear Skyworth is going to offer a lot in the next few years. And they have like all sorts of models of TVs that I didn't really get a chance to write down, but they're there in my article. And that's what they are up to. I ended my press conferences with TCL. This is a company I've been trying to get product to review on our YouTube site for quite a while, and they said they were going to send me something last October or November. It was like a while ago. It really should have came by now, but then they said it was being held up. So anyway, so what do they got? Well, they've got a lot of interesting things. They got this mini LED that they were talking about that they want to make. So yeah, that's what they're kind of going in here. Now, I don't know if you know this, but TCL actually makes phones. Yeah, I know. I don't know anyone with a TCL phone, but I really shouldn't just say that as if I know everything. I don't. TCL makes phones. They are planning on making this 6.7-inch AMOLED rollable display. And this thing is like a phone, and they showed the user like stretching it out a bit. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's great. That's a stretchy phone. And it can apparently go from like 6.7 inches to 7.5 inches. I might have gotten that measurement wrong, excuse me. But it's like, it's pretty interesting, actually. I don't know what to say about that. And then they have this thing that's like a AMOLED. I don't know why that word, AMOLED, I'm going to say that. A scrolling display, and this thing was just a scroll that you just stretched out, and it was like a display, and I think it was transparent. It looked like something out of the movie Red Planet. Anyone remember that movie? Yeah, it's kind of funny to see these science fiction things turn into science fact. And TCL was also pretty proud of their other phones, the TCL 20 series. That's pretty big, and they got some other accessories out. So that concluded. Sorry, I'm boring myself. This is like so amazing. So basically, that concluded what I was doing as far as that was concerned today, as far as press conferences are concerned. Yeah, sorry. I'm not going to do a second take on this. But so basically, after that was a presentation I went to. Actually, it was a conference called PepCon Digital. Now, normally, when this happens at CES, it's an after party. It happens in the evening after the convention has essentially closed their displays for the day. And it's really great because you get to go to this hotel, and they've got all this free food there, and you get to see these companies right there, and it's media only, so it's really up close and personal. I've always liked these things. I get to know a lot of the people. I mean, let's just face it. You guys know I review stuff. Where do you think the stuff comes from? I meet people like these at these conferences, and they send me it. And that's where I usually, that's where I can make a lot of, this is a trade secret I'm revealing to you now, but yeah, I can make a lot of contacts there, and I've got to know a lot of great companies there. And this time I had to do, I pretty much, they had a list of people I could talk to as far as every product was concerned. And I was also able to do Zoom chats with all of them. Zoom chatting is not something I'm really familiar with. This is something I've just kind of learned how to do. Um, I have a day job that doesn't require me to do it, um, but I've kind of learned to do it. I think there's probably some sort of etiquette to it that I'm just not following. But essentially, like in doing these Zoom calls, I would often jump into somebody's presentation, and they were usually halfway done, and they would never, of course, start over. I'd have to just wait for them, and then I always felt awkward even asking a question, honestly, because there was like 16 other people in these Zoom chats, and so I can tell you some companies that I thought were interesting. There's a company called Ampere, or Ampere, uh, Ampere, which makes this weird Bluetooth speaker that actually runs through your shower and is powered by hydro. Essentially, the water is powering this Bluetooth speaker. And I thought, that's a pretty good idea. I've never seen anything like that before. Anything that I can see that just I've never seen before, I just love. So, let's see. Oh my gosh, sorry about that. I went to other companies and just looked at some of their other stuff. Lenovo and HP had their new computers out. Can't really say I have anything really interesting to report on there. Usually I report on things that just, just catch my eye or something I've never seen before. There's a company called Moft, M-O-F-T, that makes this weird kind of wallet that just sticks to the back of an ordinary phone. It's just very simple. Hopefully I'll get to review that. Um, Otter Products was there. I've reviewed many Otter products in the past. Have not received any of their products this year for the new, the new iPhones. I'm surprised it just hasn't happened yet, but it just hasn't. Maybe we'll get to see that this time. And they're making some new gaming stuff as well. Um, so yeah. There was this one company called Trova, which makes these boxes that can lock up nicely. Very good for pretty much anything. And I got to talk to some other robot lock companies. One company was named Lockley. The other company was, what was its name? Oh man, I can't even remember its name. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad at that. Oh, what was that called? I'll be here all day if I just keep looking. Yeah, I'm not gonna remember it. So, and I looked at my usual. There's people that I know and I've done business with before that I just kind of stop by and see what's new. So, all in all, day one of CES has really tired me out. I'm gonna be just having some dinner and going to bed, and then tomorrow I'm gonna do the whole thing over again. But this time, I'm just going to go to the show floor or the virtual show floor, start clicking on companies, getting to know them, maybe doing Zoom chats with them. And should be an interesting time. I kind of wish I could sort of do this in a way that maybe I could do this. Maybe I could record some of the. Here's the thing: my computer isn't big enough. I was hoping I could record some of the conversations I have, and then I could sort of make a montage or something. Or oh man, that's gonna be a lot of hard work, and I wouldn't be able to get it out before the thing ends. But anyway, this has been Mark Rollins signing off for CES, and hopefully, if things work out, we'll have some new videos for you by the end of this week. And keep watching and keep liking, keep subscribing, tell your friends about this site. I want to get it up to 100 subscribers by the end of this month. I think that's a very doable goal. I'd like to get it by the end of this week. So this is Mark Rollins signing off for the Geek Church.